Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Insight on Business. My name is Michael Libbie, and this is the show about advertising, marketing, consumer trends, and best business practices. Our guest in studio today is Tim Sitzmann. He's the owner of Mr. B. You've got two other stores.
We do. We have the Back Room in Beaverdale, which is our opening price store, value store, if you will, and it's for those who are not maybe able to get to Mr. B's level, but we can still dress them very well. And then we have Bedauer's on Ingersoll. That is our fashion store. It's been recognized nationally for its effect on dress in the Midwest and their intricate and changing values of how they sell clothing, and it's been really great.
How long have you been in the business?
Oh, 38 years. I was 12 when I started my...
So John T. Malloy was a personal friend of yours, right? You went to school together.
Absolutely.
We're talking with Tim about dressing for success and how you dress can very well impact your career. And we've brought along some images that we want you to take a look at, and these are images that Tim and his crew supplied to us, and give us kind of the overview about what these images might say. Ryan, go ahead and just start. Shoes.
We're obviously in the shoe business, and you know, when you go in an interview, the number one thing people look at is shoes. It's unbelievable that what people will wear for shoes and think they're dressed well, but how your shoe looks and how you act and how you groom and all those things are effective when you're sitting front to front with a potential job.
Absolutely. You know, Ryan, you want to come back here just a second? I want to show you something. In some cultures, ladies and gentlemen, if you throw your shoe at somebody, it's a very bad thing. But I want to show you something. This is a pair of shoes that I'm wearing today. All right.
That looks like an Allen Edmond.
It is an Allen Edmond shoe.
Great.
And these shoes, ladies and gentlemen, this is 25 years old. These shoes are 25 years old. 25 years old. And you know, it's not that I wear them every day. But
you take care of them.
I take care of them.
Absolutely.
And I read someplace, because we're on shoes for just a moment, that you should have your shoes shined once every 2 months, or twice a month, or something like that.
Yeah.
I saw that. I said, "Wow, twice a month? I do it every week."
Yeah.
You know,
and to take care of the leather, you should.
Exactly. To take care of the leather, put them in shoe trees.
Right.
And here's, as long as we're talking about shoes.
Perfect.
As long as we're talking about shoes, let's talk about style.
Right.
Because I think sometimes we get caught up in the moment, in the style of the moment. The shoes that I just showed you, Allen Edmond shoes, classic,
right,
have not gone out of.
Still sell that shoe.
Still sell that shoe.
The deal with style is that there's certain, we call it on our floor, on our sales floor, core products, things that you should never be out of. The shoe, like you just showed, is a core product. That does not mean that you shouldn't get onto a trend and enjoy clothing. And we're in a time, H&M is a store that I think of off the top of my head. It's called disposable clothing. You buy the fashion item for the moment so that you're in fashion, and it's a throwaway item. You realize that you may only wear it for 6 months to a year, and then you're on to the next one. But there is core basics in both male and female, both having a navy blue blazer, a dark suit, a white shirt. I mean, just staple things that it's almost, we call it a no-brainer.
Yeah.
You should have to just be ready to go and do things. And other than that, you should enjoy clothing. Clothing's a personality thing, but we still should have the staples as you just showed.
And when you're talking about clothing, one of the other important things, this doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg. I mean, you can have high quality clothing, but it lasts, and that's the other thing. It doesn't go out of style, and it lasts.
Well, I think every consumer is looking for value.
Yeah,
it isn't necessarily about the price. And whatever we go shopping for, and we haven't shopped for something for 10 years, you think you're going to buy a good suit at $200. Well, that's gone to $800. So that's just what happens in inflation. Cars are a lot more than we ever think they are when we go to try to buy a car. But look for a value, something that you can wear a long time. That shoe, at that particular time, you probably spent $200 for. That shoe's $350.
Exactly.
But look what the value you've got per wear. And I tell people that in shoes, going back to the shoe thing, that buying inexpensive shoes is really spending money unwisely, except for maybe a fashion shoe that you know is not going to last.
Yeah, we've got some other photographs.
Let's look.
Let's take a look at some of these other. These are from Tim Sitzmann's store, Mr. B. Now, this is a casual look.
This is very casual, and color obviously changes with season. In the spring, there's lots of vivid and bright colors. But what we emphasize here, what I like to emphasize here, Michael, is that in dress, the coat is such a valuable item, whether it's casual, corporate casual, or weekend casual. You know, the coat becomes a man purse. You get on a plane, you want to put a ticket away, you want to put things away, you don't have any place to put it. What do you do with your cell phone if you don't have something hooking on your belt, which in my opinion looks terrible?
Looks terrible, yeah.
So the coat becomes a valuable item for a male and female when they're traveling or going to work. It just holds a lot of stuff. Plus, it ends up, as you can see again, it ends up finishing your attire.
Yeah, you can wear the khakis and polo as long as the khakis are
and
pressed.
put a coat over it. Now all of a sudden, you
stand
look
alone.
like you. I hate this idea. When I do it in our store, a customer will walk in and I'll say to him, "Oh, you got the day off," and he'll say, "No, I don't." And that's because how he's dressed.
Right.
He looks so casual that I thought he was going to mow his lawn later this afternoon, and that certainly is not an appealing look.
Yeah, we got some more photos here, Ryan.
And this is what's going on. The accents, the pocket squares, the color. Now this is a beautiful. I call it a Cary Grant gray. Just a beautiful gray suit that would last you your lifetime for color.
Absolutely.
And just a basic. Now again, we're back to the coat with a casual look. This is a corporate casual. This is what you'd wear for a country club outing. If you wanted to go, so they call it corporate, what would I call it? Informal casual. If
Sure.
you were going to an event, they don't know how to dress. It's a coat. It's still a coat.
And it works.
It works. There's all the accessories that we're doing. The bow ties are very popular.
Very popular.
Very
I've got several
popular.
friends now
Yes.
that do Bow Tie Wednesday.
Bow tie, and we're involved with that.
I'm sure
in
you
fact,
are.
we're going to have a banquet at some time in the fall where we're going to do a bow tie thing. It's fancy socks and all these things are what I talked about earlier. These are fashion items that you put with your staples to make them look current.
Right.
So you could put that fancy sock down on the left, the gray with a stripe, and wear it with a gray suit. It's still a basic, but you can make it look fashionable.
You know, it's always ties.
Ties. Everybody says
important-
nobody's wearing ties. I beg to differ.
Yeah.
Everybody's wearing ties at certain times, and it's important to have updated ties. Ties have narrowed. They go up and down with fashion. They go up and down with lapels. And I contend you get a medium lapel suit, you can wear it a long time. Doesn't do our business a whole lot of good. To tell you can wear a suit for 20 years.
Right, but you can.
I can reflect on a deal in my house. We have a Maytag washer that's 1980 and we're still using it. You wonder why the washer and dryer people go out of business. Nobody, they made them too well. And now we're a little more obsolescence in what we buy. But the reality of it is you can buy a suit in a gray and a navy and wear it a long time. Like your shoe that you showed me.
Exactly. Any more? Do we have any more photos? One more.
See, now this is what I would call weekend casual. You have an event for Saturday night with a couple of couples and you're going out and you wear a nice, beautiful plaid shirt pressed. Still, I would go back to putting a little jacket over it so you look. The jacket is essential. We have a little mantra in our store, and Darren, another individual who is our sales director, was going to come today and couldn't. And his mantra is put a jacket on everyone. Just get it on them and show them the value of it. Now, that may not be what they came in for that particular day, but it wakes them up that is important in dress today, the suit and the suit jacket.
And, like you say, it allows you the flexibility to put stuff.
Absolutely.
Now, these makeovers, do they cost a bunch? What's a bunch?
It depends. It depends on all three of our stores, and makeovers do cost more than most of the consumers expect. But what we like to do, and we offer it often, is to get into somebody's wardrobe. We call it a closet cleaning, where we talk to them and we get in their home and say, "Oh, how do you dress? What do you like to dress?" And we direct them in their personality and how they want to feel in clothing. And then we get them the right things to fit right. And I'd say a guy should be buying something on a somewhat regular basis. Don't wait too long. Then the costs go down. But it could be a $2,000 investment over a year to get back into some kind of shape. But I don't think you need to do it initially. Do it a little at a time. A little at a time.
Yeah, exactly. Go with the staples first. And John T. Malloy, in his book, talks about this, ladies and gentlemen, how you start with the basics. The gray slacks and a blue blazer and a white shirt and a club tie.
And the blue blazer, no matter what the fit, if you want a skinny fit, if you want a full fit, the blue blazer still fits in every man's wardrobe.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It certainly does. And you can cross-dress with that all over the place.
Wear it with khakis and a polo shirt, as we've talked about many times this morning, but that dresses up that whole outfit. But please, we're in a wrinkly kind of fashion trend right now where everything's wrinkled, and that's a trend for the younger guy, but I think for somebody over 40, an iron does well.
Yeah, it
I'll
does.
Shout out to the dry cleaning people. They still press.
They still do, and
yeah.
they still put starch in things.
Absolutely.
Too. I have read a Facebook post of a friend over the weekend who said, "Doggone it, I don't know, but my shirts came back with starch in them, and I'm a no starch kind of guy." I responded, "But you'll look sharp for a longer period of time."
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's the ticket. Our guest has been Tim Sitzmann, ladies, and thank you, Tim, for taking some time
my pleasure
and coming down here.
It's fun to, when you're into something and you enjoy it, like I have over the last 36, 38 years. It's just, I don't feel like I ever go to work. It's just something I enjoy doing.
Well, I think what the important takeaway here is, it doesn't matter, and this is where we kind of started. When we showed those photographs of people who have worked in some of the areas here in the city center of Des Moines, they may not have any interaction with but there's somebody in the company that's going to notice how you look.
Well, and even beyond your job, just who you are and how you want to feel about yourself and how you want people to feel about yourself. Going to the grocery store in your pajamas is not very attractive, let me say, and you see it all the time.
Oh boy, don't you?
You never know who you're going to run into.
That's right.
At any time. So even though you're not in front of people all the time, what if you ran into your potential boss in the walkway out here and you were looking bad?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just
the image you're giving is very important.
And it doesn't take that much time or money to make sure that it's
not
good.
At all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Tim Sitzmann, ladies and gentlemen, we are honored that he took some time to come down here to Inside on Business and talk about how dressing for success impacts your career, no matter what career you happen to be in. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, when we were researching this story, we learned about another Dress for Success. It's called dressforsuccess.org. And here in Iowa, there are 2 locations of Dress for Success. We're going to share this information with you, and it is directed to the ladies who happen to be watching and or listening. dressforsuccess.org. When we come back. This is Inside on Business, the News Hour. My name is Michael Libbie. It's all brought to us by our friends at FWRSA. FWRSA, tax and accounting professionals that'll work hard for your business until the cows come home. That's a promise. We'll be back with more right after this.